come in the front door. You've got paint needs to be done right there. There was a paint drip or a nail pop right there. There's a spot right there. There's a piece of chipped paint right there. You've got these spots up here. They were either paint drips or they were nail pops. There's another one. The discoloration on the wall is because of the window. This seam up here needed some perfecting. Like they covered some of this stuff up, but like there's a paint chip right there. Let's see. Needs to be repainted right here. You can see right here where it needs to be repainted on that box. And then up there, there's a brush stroke line. Down here, there were 2 spots. This corner needs a little bit of perfecting. These 2 spots in the top. And then there is some paint. You can see right there, that discoloration that needs to be perfected right there. So this is a dining room. And then you've got the entryway. There are 2 spots right there. And there's a little spot right here. You can see it. And then you've got a seam right here. This corner needed perfecting. This was actually painted white, but it should be painted that tan color. So they'll go through there and fix that. And then up here on the ceiling, you've got these little spots right there. So that should be for there. And right here, you've got this little paint drip. In the half bath, there are some little spots up there. And then up here, there are some white spots, needs some repainting. Those were nail pops. Then up here, you've got these 2 little lines on the ceiling. They're gonna fix that. Okay, so now we're in the living room. You've got a spot right here that they marked. There's a spot up under the outlet. There's another spot. It'll be hard to miss these. It's just, you know, you see some imperfections, some paint drip. Up here, the paint stripping. Up there on the ceiling, you've got a little spot. And they marked that, but just a little imperfection. Let's see. Down here, there's a little paint touching the LVP, and it's the same over here. There's paint touching the LVP, so we marked that. Up under the palette, there's the white right there. Okay, we're in the kitchen. You can see there were 2 nail pops right there. And then we've got just some paint dripping in that little corner in the dining room. And then over here, this seam was not sealed all the way, so that needs to be fixed. Right here, you've got some paint dripping on this wall. Paint drip right there. This needs to be repainted, so they've spackled that. There's a spot right here because it needs some repainting up here, but it doesn't show very well on the camera. Right here, you can see a brush stroke. So marked that. This door looked like it needed some perfecting on this corner right here. So mark that. Paint dripping right there. And right here, you've got a chip on the pantry door. Then right here as well on the pantry door. Inside the pantry, there's that spot up there. There's a little line right here. Okay. Right here, this part of the wall. Now we are over here where the 2 bedrooms are. And then up here on the ceiling, the smoke detector, there's a hole up there. Okay. This needed to be repainted. That was a paint drip. Right here needs to be repainted. Right there needs to be repainted. There's a little spot on the door right there. Little imperfection. That needs to be repainted. You can see the brush stroke. It's a spot down here. It's a paint drip. Needed to be repainted right there. You can see around that spackle. And then up here in the closet, there's a little bitty spot up there. So this is the left side bedroom. Bathroom's right here in the middle. You can see the paint dripping. Mark that. And then there's a spackle right here. And then up, you can see that this up here needs just a little bit of perfecting. It's got some, looks like little wrinkly. And then up here as well in this closet needs to be repainted. Up there above the light fixture needs some painting. Okay, this is the right side bedroom. Got a spot on the ceiling that needs fixing. It's marked, they mark them on the carpet. And then up here in the corner, that needs painting, so they've marked that. This had some paint chipping, so that's marked up there. Top of that closet looks fine. Okay, so we've just finished this side of the house. We've done the pantry, laundry room. Didn't need too terribly much. It had some paint dripping there and there. A couple of things right here at the bottom. Just needs to be repainted. You can see that dark spot right there. There was a spot right there. This is in the garage, and then they've marked right here. It just needs some repainting up there on the top. And then they've also marked a big spot right here. There's a big seam that you can see. And then right here, they've marked 1, 2, and 3 because there are actually nail holes up there where it looks like they may have nailed it before. And then we've got a spot right here on the left wall and another spot right there. Just paint drips. A couple of spots as you come in. Just need some repainting and some perfecting, as you can see. Just a couple of little things. Okay. So we finished laundry room, finished garage. We've done the dining room. We've done the kitchen. So let's trying to recall if we did this room or not. I don't think we did. We did it again. I'm sorry. I don't want this video to be super long. I wanted them to perfect those little corners right here. I just thought they didn't look so good. Let me see. Double check on this closet yet. Okay, so had a paint drip right here. This is in the additional bedroom that has the bathroom attached. Right there, as you can see, it needs some perfecting on the bottom. At the top of that door frame. Up here on the ceiling, it's got a little divot right there that needs some perfecting. the top of this window corner was like shaved off. That needed to be fixed. And then up here on the other side, there's another little divot on the right side of the wall in here. I told you about the window already. Okay, now we're in the bathroom. Couple of spackle spots right here by the toilet. And then up here, just needs a little bit of perfecting up under the lights. Ceiling fans, they're going, they're not wobbling, and they're not noisy, as you can see. Okay, right here in this little hallway, some paint imperfections. Right there, it's got a paint imperfection. And then right here, there's all of this paint that needs to be touched up because the white was running over onto the wall. So here's that. I think the only other things we need to do are the office and the bedroom. Okay, so we've got spackle spot right here. There's a little spot right here. I don't really even see what I marked that spot for, but there's a big line up there. You can see it. That needed to be fixed. 2 spackle spots right here behind the door. And then over here in the corners, these needed to be sealed. And it's like that on the opposite side as well. And all the way across. So pretty much every corner in this room needed perfecting. Okay, now we're gonna go to the primary room. I told you about that. Maybe I've been in here. You guys. I don't feel like I've been in here with you guys. Maybe I just told you about that wall, but anyway, we'll just do it again. So we've got a couple of imperfections. It looked like a box was painted around this, so that needs to be repainted. There's a spot down here, as you can see, it needs some touching up. And then right here, there's a little paint glob right there that needs to be fixed. We've got some discoloration right there. That corner needed to be sealed just like in the office. And then there was a paint drip right here. And then there's a spot on the floor because there is that little spot in the ceiling. Okay, there's a spot at the top. And then you've got a little mark right there. Inside the closet, there were a couple of nail holes where they, I guess, put it on incorrectly. And a couple of brush strokes that I could see. Right here needs some repainting. There's a paint drip right here on the wall. Down here, there was a little bit of discoloration. And right here needs some repainting, as you can see. Okay. There's a little spot right here that needed perfecting. Right up here on the left side window. Then we go into the bathroom. As you can see, they spackled this door up. It had a seam that was visible. And then this paint feels like fuzzy, so I wanted that to be fixed up there. I think they might have marked that. I'm not really tall enough to see that high, so I can't tell you really what's on the top, but there's a little spot right there. Here's a brush stroke right here. You can kind of see it a little bit. And then brush strokes right here. There's a discoloration right there. Up here at the shower head, you can see it's just ugly looking. So I wanted that to be fixed. And then they marked up there as well because it's got some, as you can see at the top, needs to be fixed. Okay. Down here, this needed to be fixed. That was ugly looking, and then it's got a little spot right there, a paint spot. All right, now we're in the bathroom. The one thing that I saw in here was that the tan paint was touching the ceiling. So marked that up. And then right here, just that door jamb. You needed some perfection. I'll show you guys the water pressure. I did test it in the kitchen as well, and it seems to be good. Okay, there's that. All right, so I think that we have been over everything. I checked all of the door locks. The only one that I saw a problem with was this garage door, because when I try to shut it and it closes, it doesn't, without me pushing on the door, it only will close if I push the door shut. So they're gonna realign that door for you guys. So other than that, I don't know if I showed you guys this little cubby area, but just a couple of little imperfections over here. The spackle spot needs some paint right there. So I think I've been over everything, but the house is so big that I'm getting lost and confused. So I'm gonna upload this video for you guys, and I will make sure that I provide it to the agent as well, so she knows what to be looking for. And okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.